Marlo. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming on board this morning. On behalf of the General Manager, Mr. Randy Clark, we thank you so much for having Metro be your source of transportation. I want to say good morning again and thank you for participating today in WMATA Small Business Programs Office Outreach. Get Certified with WMATA, presented by Liliette Rivera, our SBPO, meaning Small Business Programs Office, analyst for WMATA. At WMATA, certification is the key to participation. So we encourage all of those that are not certified small businesses to please get certified with WMATA. We have lots and lots of projects, contracts, and things coming about, and we want you to be a part of that. I also want to remind you that we have 5 social economic programs that you can be certified in. We have our disadvantage and small business enterprise programs, which is on the federal side of the house. And if you don't know, we do have the new minority business, small business, and micro business programs, which is on our non-federal local program side. So please check out our websites and learn more about our programs and how we are doing business here at WMATA. We are definitely open for business and we want you to be a part of our contracting opportunities. So remember, we are your Metro, the way forward. I ask that you please put all questions in the chat and remember to fill out your surveys that will be sent to you after the outreach event. These surveys help us to plan events that can benefit or support your business growth. Again, thank you for attending our session today. Now, for our presenter, Liliette is an esteemed employee and has worked for WMATA since 2018. In her role, she assists small businesses to get certified for WMATA's social economic programs, both federal and non-federal programs. Prior to her professional experience, includes working as a minority small business enterprise support specialist for Anne Arundel County Public Schools in Maryland, the Small Business Council for the Hispanic Committee of Virginia, and Puerto Rico's Small Business Development Center, where she provided counseling for startup businesses and the Small Business Administration lending programs. At this time, I am going to turn the program over to Liliette so you can learn how to get certified with WMATA. Thank you.
Good morning. Let me here go and share my screen. Good morning, everyone. I'm Liliette Rivera. Thank you for the introduction, Michelle. I am a small business analyst with the Small Business Programs Office. I help certify small businesses for WMATA. We appreciate your support here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We have prepared a very informative session that we hope you enjoy and can use for future reference. With that being said, let's move on into the agenda. We have a very interesting agenda. The workshop is divided into 6 parts. In part 1, we're going to give an overview of the DBE program, its definition and eligibility requirements. Part 2, I'm going over how to apply for the DBE program. In part 3, we at WMATA have our own certification programs. We are going over that. And in part 4, let's talk about how to apply for WMATA certification programs. Part 5, let's go over the certification benefits. And lastly, we are going to have a Q&A session. So part 1, let's go over the DBE program background. Why do we have a DBE program? This program was created through the U.S. Department of Transportation. They distribute funds annually to state and local transportation agencies. So USDOT has the responsibility to make sure that companies competing for those funds or contracts are not disadvantaged by unlawful discrimination. To accomplish this, the U.S. Department of Transportation created the DBE program. And when we say DBE, we mean Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. Recipients of U.S. DOT funds must develop and implement a DBE program that follows the U.S. DOT standard set on 49 CFR or Code of Federal Regulation, Part 26. So the program was established in 1983. It was when the Congress passed the first DBE provision, which required the U.S. Department to make sure that at least 10% of the funds for highway and transit federal assistance programs were spent with DBEs. So Metro received funds from the U.S. Department of Transportation, meaning that we must have a DBE program. Two agencies participate in the certification program. We call it the District of Columbia Certification Program, or the DCUCP, and those agencies are WMATA, the Washington Metropolitan Area Transportation Authority, or Metro, and the District Department of Transportation, or DDOT. So in other words, if you company, you can get certified as DB with WMATA or DDOT. There's no difference in the process. Both agencies approve certification, denials, and suspensions. If you get certified with WMATA, you are getting certified with DDOT, or if you get certified with DDOT, you are getting certified with WMATA or Metro. So let's go over the definition of a DBE. DBEs are for-profit small business owned by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Those individuals must have at least 51% of ownership and control over management and daily operations. So if your company or is trying to get certified as a DBE, the company and the business owner must meet six components or criteria. The first two are ownership and control. To be a DBE, the company must be owned and controlled by socially and economically disadvantaged individuals, Asian Pacific Americans, African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Native Americans, subcontinent Asian American, and women are presumed to be socially disadvantaged. So the fourth component here is independence. Independence meaning that the business cannot be tied to another business. The next one is personal net worth. The majority, 51% owners or owners' personal net worth cannot exceed 2.047 million. I want to make like a brief pause here to let you know that this is a change to the regulation. As of May 9, the U.S. Department of Transportation increased the size of the personal network limitation from 1.32 million to 2.047 million. And last but not least, the business size standard. The business 3-year average gross receipts cannot exceed 30.72 million. So before moving on to part two, I'd like to briefly summarize part one. In part one, we talk about the importance of the U.S. Department of Transportation. We talk about the recipients of DBE form that must create and administer the DBE program. In DC, we have two agencies that certify as DBE, and those agencies are Metro or WMATA and the DC Department of Transportation. And lastly, there are 6 components to qualify as a DBE. So once you're sure that your business qualifies, you are ready to apply. We have 2 types of application process. The first one is what we call the in-state application. This is for companies that are located in the District of Columbia. So what's the first step? The first step is to complete the new uniform certification application. And here I like to emphasize on the word new, because on May 9, the U.S. Department of Transportation released a new application form, and I'm going to go over the form in a couple of minutes. And also there's a new personal network form for new applications. And once you complete the application, the personal network form, you must submit online through WMATA supplier portal. So I like to show you how the supplier portal homepage looks like. Once you get here, and I put a link in the previous slide here. If you click here on vendor supplier portal, it's going to take you to the homepage. So the homepage, you're going to click here in new supply register, and the system is going to take you through all the steps to apply as a vendor with WMATA. Once you apply as a vendor, you must follow the steps and get apply as a DBE or any other certifications that we are going to talk about later in the presentation. This is the new uniform certification application. This is section 1. In section 1, you are going to go over the contact information, the type of services, and identify the NACES codes that the company would like to get certified on. The application has 17 pages. This includes the instructions and a list of the documents that must be submitted with the application. Then we have section 2, which is the general information. Here you are gonna talk about the structure of the business income, the relationship that the business has with other businesses, and ownership interest. On section 3, here you are going to include the information about the owners. Then we are going to have a session for additional owners information. So in this section, you are going to identify the individuals or companies that hold less than 51% of ownership in the applicant firm. Section 4, control. Here you are going to identify the board of directors of the company or the members. We have another section for additional information, the owner's duties and responsibilities, the equipment that the business owns, and the office space. And here you are going to identify 3 current contracts that your company is working on. And here we added a link. If you click here, it's going to take you to the application form. And then the application has a section 5, which is for airport concession. We at WMATA does not certify ACDBE, but the Metropolitan Washington Airports Authority certifies as ACDBE in DC, the district. So here we included the phone number for them. So when you are filling out the application, you don't need to fill out this section, section 5. So please leave it blank. And this is the last page of the certification application, is the supporting documents checklist. This is the list of the documents that must be submitted with the application. Submit all the documents that apply to your business situation. Most of the time, what delays the process of completing the certification process is that the companies don't submit all the required documentation. So some examples of the documents that must be submitted with the application are resumes of the owners, personal net worth statement, personal federal tax returns, list of equipment, license renewal form, permits, bank authorization and signatory cards. And here, depending on the structure of the business, you are going to include the applicable documents, either for partnership, or corporation, and these are documents that we may request. They are optional. And this is the form for personal net worth statement. Here in this form, you are going to list your assets and liabilities. The formula is really, really simple. Assets minus liabilities equals your net worth. So when you are filling this form for DBE certification purposes, you don't include the ownership interest in the applicant firm and your equity in your primary residence. So again, the 51 majority owners' personal net worth cannot exceed or must not exceed 2.047 million. So this is one of the documents that's going to be included with the supporting documents. What's our uniform certification application process? Once you submit the application through WMATA supplier portal, the application is going to be assigned to one of the analysts at our office. The analyst will verify that all required documentation is included. If we are missing some documents, we are going to email you requesting additional documents. Once we receive them, we must perform a virtual site visit. Then the analyst is going to prepare an evaluation report and present it to the DCUCP committee, which approve or denies the application for certification. If the company gets approved, you're going to receive an approval letter, or if the company is denied, we will forward like a denial letter, and you can appeal the decision to the U.S. Department of Transportation. So this process takes about 30 to 90 days. So depending on the forms that we receive, how complete is your application, and if we have like a long waiting list of companies applying for certification at the same time. So I talk about the process of home state companies, which are companies located in the District of Columbia. And we have a second certification process, which is the interstate certification process. If your company is not located in the district, as of May 9, the US DOT released a new application process for companies that are not located in our home state, that in the case of WMATA is the District of Columbia. So you must be certified as a DBE in your business jurisdiction. So in other words, if your business is located in Maryland, your company must be certified as a DBE with the Maryland Department of Transportation before we at WMATA certify you as a DBE. Once you get certified in your home state, then you are ready to apply for interstate certification with WMATA. And the process is you are going to submit through our supplier portal a cover letter that specifies that the company is applying for DVE certification as interstate. As interstate. Also, you are going to include an electronic image of the UCP directory on the state that you are certified as a DBE. And the third document that is going to be included with the application package is the new declaration of eligibility, which is a form that the U.S. Department of Transportation released as well. For step 2, we at WMATA, we are going to confirm that you are eligible to be certified as a DBE. So we are going to confirm that we received all the materials, and within 10 business days of receiving the documents required in step 1, our UCP, or I mean the DC UCP, must confirm the certification of the DBE by reference to the UCP directory of the jurisdiction of certification. So in other words, we at WMATA are going to confirm with your state that you are certified as a DBE by contacting either the other agency or by verifying the UCP directory. And step 3, we must certify if everything is okay. On step 1, if the company submits all the information requested. On step 2, we at WMATA confirm eligibility. We are going to immediately certify you, and a certification letter, is going to be sent to our supplier portal. So once you are certified, either as a homestead or as like interstate company, we have an annual process called the annual declaration of eligibility. So on the anniversary date of your original certification as a DVE, you must submit a declaration of eligibility. This is a form that the U.S. Department of Transportation released on May 9. Here we have a link. I want to show you really quickly here what the form looks like. Okay, it's coming here. So once you click here, you're going to come here to declaration of eligibility, and here is the form. So you are going to complete, you can complete it online and then sign. And annually, that form must be submitted along with proof of gross receipts, which can be audited financial statements or a CPA declaration or file business taxes. So when the date for your anniversary of your certification is approaching, we at WMATA are going to send you an email reminding that the annual declaration of eligibility is about to come up, and you need to submit those documents through WMATA supplier portal. And remember that this must be done annually. Before moving on to part 3, I'd like to summarize what I discussed on part 2. So in order to apply for DBE program or DBE certification with WMATA, you must do it through our own supplier portal, which is online. You are going to complete the application, the personal network statement form, and submit the supporting documents. If the company is outside the District of Columbia, meaning that the company is applying as interstate company, then you must be certified in your state and then come to WMATA and apply for certification. At the beginning of the presentation, our director, Michelle, mentioned that we at WMATA have our own certification programs. So we have 3 certification programs. These programs are non-federal. In other words, WMATA uses these certification programs for local funded contracts. We have the Minority Business Enterprise Program. The second one is the Small Business Program, or the SBP. And the third one is the Micro Business Program, or the MBP. So let's start with the Minority Business Enterprise Program, the MBE program. This program is a copy or mirrors the DVE program. So it's exactly the same requirements, more or less the same application process. The only change that you are going to see here is that the application form is different, but we are going to require the same supporting documents that the DBE program requires. Also, we have the Small Business Program, or the Small Business, or the SBP. So in order to get certified as a SBP, the business must be headquartered in Maryland, DC, or Virginia, and must meet the following business criteria. 3-year average revenues must be equal to 10 or less than 10 million, and the business must have 50 or less employees. And lastly, but not least, we have the micro business program, which is a program that targets very small businesses for prime contracting opportunities. To qualify as a micro business, the 3-year average revenues for the business must be equals or less than 3 million, and the business must have 25 or fewer employees. So those three are WMATA certification programs. So I'd like to go over how you're going to apply for WMATA certification programs. So we have, like I said before, we have a different application form. And here I like to include here like a snapshot of our application. And we have the link. If you click here in where it says application form, it's going to take you to our online form. Also, you must submit a personal net worth statement, submit the supporting documents, and everything must be submitted through Metro Supplier Portal. So business can apply for certification as a minority business, a small business, or micro business, or all of them. So the other difference that we have between the MBE, SBP, and MBP is that the certification must be renewed every 2 years. There's a difference with the DBE program that the certification is going to be renewed annually. In this case, it's going to be every 2 years, and you're going to get a notification from WMATA that your renewal process is coming up, and you must submit the documents for the annual review, for the semi-annual review, I must say. So let's talk a little bit about the benefits when you get certified. The DBEs, if you get certified as a DBE, the DBEs may be utilized to satisfy the DBE goal on any project with funding from the U.S. Department of Transportation. Also, your company, once it gets certified, you are going to receive exposure for contracting opportunities through the DBE directory. We at WMATA and the DC Department of Transportation, we have a directory. All certified companies are going to be listed in that directory. So all companies that are looking for like companies to fulfill the DBE goals on contracts are going to look here and going to see your company listed there and may contact you for to fulfill their goals, subcontracting goals. Also, we have the benefits for the WMATA programs. We mentioned that we have the MBE, the SBP, and the MBP. Those programs were created to provide additional contracting opportunities for small women and minorities-owned businesses. Dedicated funds will be utilized to contract for goods, supplies, and services. All metro departments that utilize dedicated funds must comply with the MBE, SBP, and MVP program requirements. And here we added uh, a link for the brochure if you would like to get more information about WMATA certification programs. We have some tips before we conclude the presentation. We would like to share with you some tips about how to keep your certification current, about how to be successful on the certification process. So we recommend that you search the WMATA website often to find new contract opportunities, attend WMATA outreach events as often as possible, and network effectively. Use WMATA training sections to learn how the contracting process works. Notifies of a material change in the status if you had a change in ownership or if you have a major change in the company. Please reach out to us and let us know, and keep your contact information updated. We at WMATA send multiple emails about upcoming opportunities or new application procedures. So it's going to be important to keep your contact information updated. So speaking of networking and outreaches, we have some upcoming workshops. We have on Tuesday, September 10th, we have Asset Avenues, Navigating Wealth Growth through Strategic Accumulation. Then we have an in-person training, which is Meet the Price, Connecting a Small Business to Opportunities. This is on Wednesday, September 18th. So space is limited. Reserve your spot now if you are interested in joining um, this training. And on September 24, we have Future Fulfillment Fundamentals, a roadmap for achieving long-term financial goals. This we are already in part 6 of the presentation, the question and answers.
Good morning, Lillian. Most of
Morning.
the questions in the chat have been answered. There is a question in the chat. Is there an expedited process if your firm is MBE certified with MDOT?
Is the company in DBE certified with MDOT?
If the firm is MBE certified with MDOT?
If the firm is MBE certified with MDOT, you can get certified at WMATA as an MBE. It's a very quick process. But if you are applying for DBE, you must be certified as a DBE in Maryland and then apply for DBE with DC. Any other questions?
No, there are no more questions in the chat. If anyone has any additional questions, we'll give you a chance to put those questions in the chat. Someone just put in the chat, I guess it's referring to the question, is there an expedited process if your firm is DBE certified with MDOT?
Yeah, if the company is DBE certified with MDOT, we talk about the InterSend application process. So in 10 days, if you submit the cover letter requesting DBE certification and you upload a copy of the directory that your company is certified as a DBE in Maryland, and the document declaration of eligibility, we must certify the company in 10 days. Any other questions?
Who do we contact with questions if they arise while applying?
Yeah, we have here our contact information. You can contact the SBPO hotline at womata.com. You can always email me, lrivera@womata.com. And we have tons of information on our website that you are you can go and take a look if you have any other questions.
There is another question. If you are a DBE in DC, does it qualify you for this program?
If you are DBE certified in DC, do you qualify for what program?
I'm going to ask that for the person that put that question in the chat, can you clarify your question and we'll come back for a response. There's another question. Is a physical location required to become certified?
If the physical location, you must have like a location, or you can have like a business office. But in order to get certified, yeah, you have to have a place to do business. It could be home, it could be a location that you rent, but you must have like a license for your home state to that qualifies you to conduct business in the District of Columbia.
Next question, is there a list of services needed or announced? I'm going to take this one for you, Liliat. We will put the link in the chat to where WMATA post our social, our upcoming solicitations. Also, we will make sure that when we send out the link to this recording and the thank you letter from our director, as well as a copy of this PowerPoint, that we add on to that email a list of WMATA's fiscal year 2025 upcoming projects. So that can give you an opportunity to prepare for what's on the horizon.
Any other questions?
Does having a DBE certified in DC qualify you for a DBE program with WMATA?
Marla, I
Well,
believe that they may be speaking about the CBE program through the District of Columbia, and because there's a subcategory that's for DBE. And if that is the case, then the answer is no. That is a local program through the District of Columbia. The Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program is federal, so you would have to go through the process of applying as a DBE.
or if they are certified as a DBE with the D with DDOT, it means that you are already certified as a DBE with WMATA, so you don't have to go through the process again of getting certified with both agencies, because we have what we call the DCUCP and we have reciprocity. Any other questions?
No, there's no questions, but confirmation that Michael was able to answer their question. Wait a minute, there's one more. I wanted to understand what the advantages of acquiring a DBE certification. What kind of business will most benefit from these certifications?
You want to answer that question, Marlo?
Sure. So with becoming certified as a DBE with WMATA, there's several opportunities. We send out a quarterly newsletter with what's new and what's going on in WMATA and in and about in the DMV. We send out bi-weekly email blasts that talk about upcoming events at WMATA and upcoming events in the DMV. We also invite you to attend our virtual outreaches. During the year, we present 20 to 25 outreaches a year about how it's educational outreaches that help businesses grow in their business. We work with a lot of different associations, one of them being Howard University, and they provide us with speakers that are successful business owners that help you become to help you to grow your business and learn from their mistakes and share the wealth of knowledge. We also occasionally do direct solicitations when there's opportunities within WMATA, when prime contractors are looking for certain types of
Sí,
areas of
todavía.
work. I hope I was able to answer your question. And there's another question in the chat. Does WMATA work with MBOC of Maryland? Could you spell that out in the chat, Richard, so I can address that question? There's another chat. Does WMATA DBE certification, does MY certification qualify a company to do with business with WMATA? No, you have to apply with WMATA directly.
Do you have any?
Okay. MBOC is Maryland Business Opportunity Center. No, we don't, but we can look into partnering and collaborating with them. Thank you for sharing that information, Richard.
Do we have more questions?
There's no more questions in the chat, so I am going to turn the presentation back over to our director, Michelle Howard.
Thank you. Thank you so much. These are some really good questions. I hope that everybody made some notes and wrote them down. I also want to add on that, the benefits of directly being certified with WMATA, it's a partnership between us and DDOT. So you will, appear on the joint list when it comes to opportunities. One of the things that Marla mentioned here at WMATA, what we do is this. We send solicitations. We try to send them as far in advance to our certified members as possible to give them an opportunity to review and to look at different solicitations and projects that are coming up. We also try to send in advance the listing of projects that is approved by the WMATA board before it is sent out or solicited, so that you have an idea of what's coming up and how you can better prepare for those. We make sure that you can have access to bidders lists so that you can see the prime contractors that have bidded on our projects. And if you want to try to network with them or partner with them, to let them know that you're interested about recurring contracts or projects that we have that they may be on. Most of the advantages is this as well. We not only send out notices about the projects at WMATA, but those that we partner with, other prime contractors and organizations that we partner with, we also send you the listing of their upcoming opportunities. So that's one of the things that we try to make sure that we do. We just don't give you information on WMATAs, but we also forward and send out information on the other opportunities that our partners and everything also have or may listed out. I want to take this time to really thank Lily Ed, our presenter. She did an amazing job. I'm always proud of our team. I also want to thank our Small Business Programs Author Certification and Outreach team, Marlo, Michael, Farah, Shanae. Thank you guys so much for always doing such an excellent job. We work hard behind the scenes to bring this to you. I hope that you were able to learn some important information to help your business grow. We look forward to seeing you at our next outreaches. They did, I think Lilliet went over what the next outreaches were that we have coming up. Please check our website for those outreaches. And remember, certification is the key to participation. And we do look forward to your applications being submitted, because we want you to be a part of WMATA's certification of businesses so that we can internally promote your businesses to the end users, and they can utilize what we have as our internal database to look at the opportunities that small businesses can give them when it comes to products and services. So again, thank you. Have a great rest of your day. And we look forward to hearing back from you with your applications and or your questions about certifications. Thank you.
That concludes our presentation. We are looking forward to seeing you at our next upcoming outreaches. Make sure you attend our in-person Meet the Prime outreach on September the 18th at our new Carrollton location on the Orange Line. We look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.